Welcome back to another review over here at Hot and Mild Reviews. I am Ireland, and this is
Carlos, what's up, y'all?
what up, guys. So we left off with you. We decided that we, as an mutual, and me and the other voices in my head, decided Carlos was going to read another book on the Romantasy things. So I'm just dabbling you in like a bunch of things.
Yes.
So I got you the tarot, got you all those different things. Now we're tapping in the vampires, the dragons, and the elves.
Yes.
And the
Amazing.
Romantasy version. Again, this is not our normal fantasy fiction, unfortunately. So here we are with this. So we left off on Wings of Blood by Briar Boleyn. Not Boleyn.
Briar Boleyn.
So
like Anne Boleyn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just had this discussion before here. He was trying to call her Anne Boleyn. Jesus. So this is book 1 in the Dark Academia version of the Bloodwing Academy.
Mm-hmm.
There is book 2 that is already out because this is going to be a trilogy, and book 3 comes out in March, which I'm very excited for. This is obviously nice with the little dragon scales on it naturally. So what were your thoughts on this?
Now, this one is more my cup of tea.
Okay. Versus A Vow of Vengeance?
A Vow of Vengeance.
Okay.
A Vow of Vengeance was a good read. It was a very quick read. I enjoyed a lot of the world building, the character building,
You wanted
and stuff
some
like
fighting scenes. You wanted some.
But for this one, though, there was some really good stuff. There was intrigue that was playing out, political intrigue that was playing out.
Yep.
Which I really liked. I really like when they start, kind of building not only the characters, but also, the different factions and kind of how they're, pitted against each other, which was
like
pretty awesome.
Typical, like we have they did this in a college sense, like a school sense. You have like the Dark Academia version. The house is split up based upon, the talents that you possess, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the houses are split up based on the real houses that exist in this current world. And I like the fact that it's a world that's controlled by vampires, which is very cool, and kind of what would happen. I've always wondered what would happen if vampires took over a world. What would that look like? And so you get a sense of what that looks like in this book, which I think is super cool.
Obviously, this is world's dominated by vampires.
Mm-hmm.
You get the mundane, the normal people.
Yes.
The mortal people are, the vampires control them and use them as servant, that means, keep worker bees.
Yeah, worker bees.
We need worker bees.
We need worker bees.
So, I mean,
the female protagonist in here is actually really cool. The way she's introed. I like the fact that she is.
She's saucy. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but she's
super
feisty.
Saucy. Like super saucy.
Feisty on fire.
Like on fire.
Right.
Heavily on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't take crap from anybody.
I don't want to do any spoilers or anything because I've already read book 2. That's why I kind of, the whole story is like one big story for me. So I'm like, wait a minute, where did book 1 end? So I don't ruin it. I know, because I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but she stays saucy the whole time so far.
Oh, dude.
And I love that. I love the fact. So you normally don't see it, but when someone writes like a very strong protagonist female lead who's like basically like just vicious in all ways, it can be like sharp-tongued, easily like ready with the blade, like on a mission, got vengeance, ready for revenge. Like when you have someone like that, when you toss in a love interest, and this is definitely a enemies to lovers slow burn type trope.
Oh,
when
slow burn.
But
really
when you're doing that, and they always kind of like it kind of pitters out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're like, her aggression pitters out and then she just kind of falls flat essentially because there's nothing else to it. This one, no. She just keeps going. Like there's nothing dimming the flame of this.
She's got red hair.
She's hellfire, right?
Yeah.
Right? So Medra Pendragon is our protagonist.
Yeah, Medra. She's a baddie. She's a baddie. So, and she gets tossed into this, into this world. And
that she's not from.
That she's definitely not from.
She's not from this world. Yeah. So she just kind of wakes up in a whole new world.
Yeah.
Literally.
And tries to figure it all out.
She has to figure it out on the fly.
Yeah. And meets, what are we calling him? Vampire Daddy?
He's still a Shadow Daddy.
Shadow Daddy.
He's still morally gray.
He's very morally gray.
He's very morally gray.
Yeah, but on the shadow scale, he's slightly shadowy.
He's slightly shadowy.
Yeah, more morally gray for sure.
Okay, so how shadow is your shadow daddy in this one?
I would give him like a 2 shadow daddy.
2?
Yeah,
for
definitely.
Sure.
Because if I compared him to our last shadow daddy,
oh yeah,
like that guy was way up in the shadow daddy scale.
Right. So and then this one was he was.
I mean, he was powerful.
I would say he's more morally gray.
Yeah, very.
Than Shadow Dummy. So
yeah.
All right,
but still a really good book.
This is a great read.
Yeah,
the world building was fantastic for a character who's trying to pass off that she has amnesia.
Right.
To everyone else, she's very smart. She's very cunning. She's very sharp tongue. There's just so much power and dynamic with her. There's, the world building is fantastic. A lot of great details.
I really also like the character building, not only in the Medra's character, but also Blake's character, and then the side characters that all have a part to play in some way. Mm-hmm. And it's not obvious. It gets more obvious as you go along reading the book.
Blake is our 2 shadow daddy.
Dark Harrow?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Dark Harrow, yeah. He's the but great read. I like this book a lot, and I can't wait to read the second one.
So how many stars would you give this out of 5?
4.5 stars, dude.
4.5 stars?
Yeah, it's a good book.
It is a very good book.
Yeah.
I would have to agree. It is very good.
Very solid book. Good. Like this one's more traditional fantasy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
With a mix, a slight hint of spiciness in it.
Just a slight. Mm-hmm. It's not too
like a pinch.
Yeah, it's just like a pinch. It's not littered or smothered or just gooping of
no
spice, but this one just has just a dollop.
Somebody sprinkled some spice in there.
Just a dollop, but that's, again, it's a slow burn. So
yeah.
If you want your spice heavily spiced and you want it on chapter 2, this is definitely not going to be.
That's not
This one's not really for you.
Not
but
really.
if you're into a strong female protagonist who is very spicy, very sharp tongued, almost like a fire citlet, she's just feisty, bratty. Oh, she's perfect.
Yeah.
So
she checks off a lot of boxes for people.
This is really good. So a lot of people say, hey, if you like Fourth Wing, you would like this book. As somebody, you've read Fourth Wing, this is a whole different thing, huh?
Yeah, I haven't fully read Fourth Wing.
All of it?
I haven't. I just caught the beginning of it, right? So I will have to read Fourth Wing to
all the way through.
Yeah, I have to read Fourth Wing in order to be able to actually make an assessment. But this book is much more along the lines of a good fantasy novel that has all of the things that I look for, right?
Right. So you can imagine like the RPG world. So in a gaming sense, because that's where we're from, is from the gaming world. You can imagine the open world. You can imagine the journeys and stuff that she's got to take. Right. You can imagine
and the different layers the
challenges
too, because
There's
you have
your
highborns, which are your vampires, and then you have your blightborns, which are your humans. And so there's this uneasiness that goes between the two of them. And so you start discovering kind of how it works as they coexist in this world, and then how the school that they're in kind of plays into it. It's like a microcosm for what happens in the world itself. So very
it's like prep them.
Very
it's like
cool
they prep
book.
them for
for the world.
Future. Yeah, exactly. Right? It's like a prep school would be a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys are interested in it,
check it out.
This is our spoiler-free review part. And hold on, if you want spoilers.
yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. Dive in. Click away. I already told you had your chance to click away. Yeah. So now if you want to dive in some spoilers, let's go.
All right. So Medra.
Okay. Yes,
I was actually really cool how it was all set up, right? Because Medra gets dropped into this world. She wakes up.
Fae. So
she wakes up.
She's Fae from another world, which is Camelot. No, she's full Fae. Oh yeah, she's half Fae. Mm-hmm. Coming in from Camelot, she's a Pendragon, so she's technically royalty.
Yeah, and apparently
Camelot.
she just wasted her grandfather.
She's
unalived some badass.
For whatever reasons we haven't been told yet.
No. But she gets dropped into this world and wakes up, and there's just a bunch of dead bodies around her.
I mean, the whole village is burning.
The whole village is burning.
She's literally in a pile of
dead people.
Right. And
unalive people.
And you have to understand about this world of the way that they have this, where she dropped in. she's the only one who looks the way she does. She's the
Correct.
only one with red hair. Everyone has silver, or black, but she's the only one on this whole island with
Right.
red hair.
Right. And apparently the highborn or the vampires, they all have like blonde or white hair.
Like platinum, almost like
yeah.
like Daenerys
Right.
Targaryen.
And if you're a half, then you still have like sandy brown hair.
Yep.
But nobody, and if you're the Blightborn or the humans, your hair is dark.
Yep.
So you can tell the difference.
That's who they know.
Between
Yeah,
all of them.
exactly. For sure.
Yeah. So, but then you're thrown immediately where she meets her shadow daddy.
Right. He's the one that like discovers, like, she wakes up to him rummaging through the mounds
Yeah.
of disturbs her, and then she was just like, oh, where am I and who is this? And then that's kind of
Yep.
because she thinks she's dead, essentially.
She doesn't know where she is.
She doesn't know where she is. She like has no recollection of anything.
Yeah.
So like
She's like, how did I end up here?
I have no idea what this town is.
I gave up my life in this other one to take out my grandfather, but I don't know.
I have no
what
idea
I'm
who
doing
these
here.
people are. I've never seen
Yeah.
any of this before in my life. So
What I liked is how they saw her hair color. Nobody had it. And they assumed, oh man, this is somebody who was potentially a dragon rider.
right, which is, there's stories of the history in the past, because you got to think vampires are super old, and some of the older highborns have already been taken out because you can still take them out.
Yeah, they're not immortal like
They're
that.
not immortal, and the history is missing. But they do know that dragon riders used to have red hair, or like the flames of the dragon.
Correct.
So anyone who had red hair could ride dragons.
Right.
Now the dragons in the story have been in slumber, ancient, not
They've been
seen
gone.
for
They've been gone
centuries.
forever. for a
So,
long
and then
time.
you'll find out how that plays a part into things. So they instantly were like, had her underneath the protection, was like, nope, you're going to do this. So I guess it would be fated mates. So they have like a fated mates trope in this where
Well, I mean, it was just one of those things where I was just
kind of.
her uncle or his uncle,
Yeah,
Victor.
so Blake's, our shadow daddy
Victor
in here.
Dark Harrow, who's even more shadow.
So there are
daddy.
4 different highborn houses, and Drake Harrow. So this house that
Dark
Blake,
Harrow, right?
that Blake's part of,
Yeah.
his uncle kind of oversees it, and kind of, even though they say all 4 houses have mutual power, he kind of is like the one that has the
Victor
most.
Dark Harrow has the power right now.
So
But it's very fluid. It's very fluid. So it's like a really uneasy truce between all of the different houses. So what's wild is that you immediately get thrown into him bonding with her, or him being bonded with
because it
her
was
like
forced,
right away.
right? Because
Yeah, it was
Victor wanted to
forced.
protect, because he's like, wait a minute, this means the dragons are coming, because
Yeah.
his uncle's obsessed with them.
And apparently,
because the houses all had their own dragons,
right, and
they would
apparently she
fight.
smells different, right? Because
Well,
I don't think
she's
they've ever
going to.
smelled a dragon rider like that before. So her blood is very intoxicating to them.
Well,
so,
they assume she's a dragon rider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like all this stuff. So obviously, because she's part Fae, so they
yeah. So they're
smelled
just
it.
like, ooh, Fae blood. I don't know what that is.
But no,
right?
they didn't even know she's Fae.
I know,
Yet.
don't
They
know.
have no idea.
There's no concept of Fae
No.
in this
There's
in
none.
this world currently. So
No.
I thought that was a nice little twist and she talks about vampires being something that was legend back where she came from, and now she's living in with them. And the
Living
crazy
with
part is that
legends.
after they're bound, she's bound to Blake. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, take her to Bloodwing Academy.
Yeah, take her to the school, because
Take
they
her
got
to
to
the
prep
school.
her for the political.
Yeah,
Basically,
and that was
because
kind of
now
like
she's considered a
protection for her
consort.
too.
Now she's considered a consort, and so all the houses have an heir,
Yeah.
and Victor's heir is obviously Blake, is who he did, not his older brother Marcus. What you find out is just, what would you call it? He's unhinged. He's like,
Marcus is just
he's just unhinged. Like
he's what you would think an old school vampire
he
would
needs his
be.
ass whooped.
But he's powerful though. He's powerful in his own
He's a
right.
dick. You know what I mean? We gotta have one of them in the book, right?
Yeah.
So she's got to go through the training. She's got to understand like what it's like to be a consort, what it means to be in this house, like kind of like forcing her into the societal rules
Right.
of this hierarchy of this highborn stuff.
Right.
And you just see her just be like, the fuck you tell me to do? Like she's just kind of like goes to her own flow. So she just
and I think that
does her own thing.
what's super cool about it is, like I said, the school is a microcosm for what's happening. So there's a lot of intrigue. The house leaders. I mean, when we first start, there's no house leader for Dark Harrow, but everybody knows that Blake is
in the school. Yeah,
in the
because the
school.
schools have it. Like, we've got
Yeah.
like the prefect.
Yeah,
for
right.
Harry Potter fans.
Think
It'd
about
be like the
Harry
prefect.
Potter. It's exactly that. So, It's one of those. It's one of those where you're just like, okay, I
Dark,
understand.
gothy, gloomy.
Right.
It's cool, things like that.
Right.
So you just see like the whole turmoil, and then like I guess since these highborns, they can have more than one consort. So you can have like 2 wives or 3
triad.
wives. Yeah,
Mhm.
you could have all this stuff. So, you know, Retta finds out that she's just now on a triad.
She's part of a triad, which is, I mean, I just landed in this world. I'm taken to this school.
I'm told I'm going to be with this person
Yeah.
over my own free will, and then I got to try to be friends with this. You know what I mean? So you just see this, like, it's just trial and tribulation, man. She just goes through so much.
She goes through a
If her
lot.
fire wasn't as, I mean, she's saucy.
Yeah.
She's saucy.
So this is where I just a little bit, right? She's super saucy. She has a short temper and a very short fuse. And for me, I was like, okay, but she doesn't stop. She doesn't stop. There's one point where she gets so mad and she doesn't think. And because she doesn't think, sometimes it gets her into trouble. You know, one time she just rolled up on a Blake when they were in the advanced weapons training, and she goes and she starts a fight with him.
Physical fight.
Like she punches him in the face.
Physical fight.
And I'm like, why are you trying to punch this dude in the face? Like, there is no way that you're going to win. And then they find out later, but she finds out later that if you do that, you could be executed for doing that.
Right.
But he steps in and helps her.
Right.
And he does that periodically throughout the book.
Again,
because
this is a slow burn of the enemies.
Her temper
lovers.
gets her into a lot of trouble.
Oh, it does.
A lot of trouble.
With everything.
And that was the thing for me, is that I was like, you know, for being a princess coming from another realm, I figured that she would probably be a little more into the intrigue, into the cunning, into all of that, and not just angry all the time.
She was just like Knives Out.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Blake, she'd be dead. She wouldn't last through half the book. He saved her all the time. It was crazy.
That's what I said. But there was like this whole we hate each other vibe to it. So that's what I said. It's definitely a slow burn of enemies to lovers. You just see kind of this whole thing just taking shape. And then what I love about it is when you start diving into book 2, it doesn't miss a beat. Nothing misses a beat, which is flawless to me, because sometimes if there's a pause, sometimes there'll be something a little off and it doesn't just flow seamlessly the way it is. So I'm very excited to see when book 3 comes out here, not even in 5 weeks, just kind of just seeing if it just goes right into that.
I did like how they introduced her mom, which was really cool.
So you find that out?
Yeah, you find out that her mom is inside her body, that she saw her daughter kind of unaliving and she saved her. She stepped in to save her, but in doing so, she ended up inside of her. So there's 2 spirits that are actually inside the body. And so she has this whole conversation with her mom, but her mom helps her all along the way. And you could tell that her mom was super refined. Her mom was a baddie.
Oh, yeah.
In and of herself, right? She was super baddie. And she kind of helps
You wait till you get to like book 2, you'll find out like mom is way more of a baddie than you think.
Yeah. And then so
like it's so good.
The funny part is that
I was like, damn, I need a book on mom.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, she has to have some innate powers. There's something in,
we don't know yet.
But then she steals the book from Professor Rodriguez.
Yes.
And it's a book on blood magic. And so she does this magic to try to get her mom out, because, the longer her mom stays in,
they found out the longer she stays in, the more they merge. And then basically, essentially, her mom did some ancient magic that she wasn't supposed to do when like her daughter died and freaked out. So her mom died in childbirth.
Yeah.
So it wasn't around for her. So just saw this like fleeting and kind of just like, I don't know, it was just weird how it happened.
Yeah.
But they found out the longer the mom stays subconsciously, like in her with her conscience, they just merge into one.
Yeah. Or the other one takes over.
So you have no idea. So the whole plan is to, while she's dealing with everything else, is to try to help her mom.
Yeah. And I kind of like that. I really like that idea.
It's like her own little personal quest.
Man, if all of this stuff's happening but my mom is here and I need to help her.
But her mom's a baddie. So her mom's like giving her like the lowdown. No, you should do this, do that. Look over here, look at that.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it comes to like fighting and stuff. And I'm like, I need a book on mom.
I want to hear more about mom. Mom is amazing.
Yeah.
Mom is a baddie in and of herself. And I'm just like, more mom, let's go.
I mean, she had to have been like, they had her like an elven assassin, like the way they were talking. Like,
yeah, she was a huge power wielder.
Now I see where the spark comes from.
Yeah. But the mom is definitely much more restrained
refined,
and refined, whereas this girl is not there.
Well, she's very young. So she's like 19, 20. She didn't get a lot of schooling in the etiquette of how to kind of
navigate through
royalty courts and
yeah.
politics and
Obviously,
all that.
You
so
could tell throughout the whole
it seemed like from the bits and pieces we're getting from her backstory of what kind of you slowly as you get through the story, you get a little dabble in a flashback and she'll be like, oh, because it was like this. Like you'll slowly get hints of her backstory and like her life on Camelot. And it's just amazing to me. So she was kind of like a little hellion already in Camelot because she'd be like, oh, this is, the only professor that could deal with me or my tutor or
it was kind of like Merida. The story of Merida, who's
from Brave,
rebellious,
from Disney,
super rebellious, and
100%, 100%.
Yeah, there was definitely some inspiration.
There, I could see it 100% with her curly red hair.
The curly red hair,
fair skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, guys, yes, you absolutely need to go pick this up.
Yeah, this one's good. And then as we start getting through, you find out that Blake. At first, of course, he's the usual brooding, angry also. But then
my uncle hates me, but you'll find out this is how gray is morally gray.
Yeah.
He's very gray because you got to do one thing because of politics and because your uncle is pretty much like, end all be all head honcho. And then you're like, but your subconscious is like, you're starting to go more this way. So you see that kind of
and then he's got the puppy.
Well, it's kind of like it's a firkin.
It's a firkin. Yeah, it's little. It's
like a little fox.
Yeah,
you'll see why it's important.
But super cute that he helps. Well,
rescue.
Medra saved, and then he helped heal, and now they're kind of like bonded. So you see a glimpse of warmth.
A little bit, yeah. That's what I said. He's not fully shadow, but he's definitely morally gray because he's got a.
He's definitely morally gray because towards the end, he's like, we gotta finish the bond. And chomp chomp, chompity chomp happens, even though she's not fully ready for that.
Nope.
It happens, and and then of course the world of dragons that didn't exist
now exists all of a sudden.
Now exists because there's a black one that just showed up because the spell that she used to
free her mom
actually freed the dragon. Which was I love that
one
too.
Of the dragons.
One of them.
You'll see how this.
One of them. And so that was actually pretty cool.
He is not happy.
Because she's just like,
he is not happy.
Oh, my bad.
He is not happy to have been woken up and not happy to have been put to sleep to begin with. So you have one very angry dragon.
Yeah,
and one very
she,
angry
she attempts
rider.
to remember what she learned about appeasing dragons so that she could potentially become a dragon rider. And the dragon's amused. He's just like, okay, little one.
Good luck.
Thanks for freeing me, but I'm out.
I'm done with this bullshit. And he's out. So, yeah, definitely pick it up. And now, speaking of that, so I noticed, we tend to go, from the video game into an RPGs and that sort of thing, but we like a little bit of the assassin and fighter stuff. So I thought it would be kind of interesting for your next raid if we kind of shifted back a little bit, because we are sci-fi fantasy realm, kind of just to shift you in a little bit of direction. So, obviously I'm going to have you read book 2 and then, when book 3, when it comes out of this, but right now I kind of wanted you to dabble into one of my favorite series. So if you guys are familiar with Sarah J. Maas, and I don't mean A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm actually talking about A Throne of Glass.
Ooh.
So this is almost like a Cinderella retelling.
Batty.
It's got a spicy, but more refined, protagonist in here. Oh God, Selena started out the end. She's amazing in this. Usually you can start off with Assassin's Blade, but it kind of gives some spoilers away already of the the first book. So I'm gonna have you read this one first and dive in, and you will just see everything that you were kind of wanting from A Vow of Vengeance and everything else. Like you're gonna see how amazing this gets.
I mean, she looks, the cover itself, she's pretty
amazing.
Badass. So
amazing.
Medra in this book had some fighting training. She had some. She talks about it, right? So I'm just excited to see what
she is. She kind of like, she's basically orphaned, thrown into a slave camp, rescued by a kind of like a pirate lord, essentially.
Okay.
And then he needed kind of like he's just not a very good villain, but he sends her to the best places in the world for certain assassins training. Like she ends up in the desert to train out there for, the sisters. So it's like the Blades.
So she's
she's
well schooled,
well trained, well trained.
I'm down. I'm excited.
And she's got a little bougie side to her, which I love. So it's like, if Cinderella just didn't lay down and play dead. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, there are quite a few books in this series. It does get a little spicy towards the end. People are like, really low spicy? Well, when these books first came out, they were in young adults. So they were like 11-year-olds could pick them up. Man, times have changed.
Well, so
but as it got down a little further.
What are we going to rate this? What would you rate it?
We did 4.5 out of 5.
And on the spice level?
Oh my gosh. Probably like maybe a half.
Yeah.
Or like one spicy pepper. Like it's like a green pepper.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I was. There was a scene in there that I was like, okay.
It's kind of like hinted a little bit. There are a few little details, but it's not like.
Yeah.
It's not heavily detailed.
Okay. So 4.5 stars. 1 green pepper.
I'll say it's just a green pepper.
Yeah, I'll agree. Green pepper.
Or like one chili pepper.
Yeah, and 2 on the Shadow Daddy.
2 on the Shadow Daddy.
Okay.
So
got it.
You want more just a very good read? This one.
Yeah.
For like that.
Super awesome. I can't wait for that next one, by the way.
I know, right?
And then I will diligently read this book.
I'm having you dive into that one because everyone is like, oh my God, a quart of roses, like a quart of roses and thorns. Like, I love Akatar. Don't get me wrong. It's great for its thing. I'm more of an assassin girl. I'm more of like, give me somebody with no empathy. Like, I love this. Okay. Like, all my characters in World of Warcraft, when I'm naming my party, were all from this book.
I love it.
Between this and Dritz. So,
well, Dritz is a pretty badass character.
We're going to dive into that too. So I want to kind of shift things over a little bit back more towards fantasy, like normal sci-fi fantasy. Yeah. So just to kind of, we're just going to be dipping our toes into fantasy, sci-fi with a little romantasy, and just kind of stir in the pot, stir in the cauldron.
Yeah, and then at some point I'll throw in some recommendations as well for some older fantasy books that I think are really cool.
I've got a whole list. We've seen that. I've got a whole stack. Actually,
let's go.
Not to mention anything that's like back here. So
woohoo!
And
on that note, y'all, thank you again for tuning in. I hope you find these reviews pretty useful, especially if you haven't read some of these books.
And then anything you guys recommend that we should check out in the sci-fi, fantasy, or romantasy section, don't forget to leave comments and let us know.
Yes, absolutely.
So appreciate you always, guys. Have fun and happy reading. We are out.
We out.
On to the next one. I forgot we have the alert.